Black Dolls by Contemporary Black Doll Artists, a compilation of their work by Behan, Garrett. Selections of black dolls by contemporary black doll artists are featured in this presentation. Unless otherwise indicated, the dolls are handmade and are one of a kind. The final page of the presentation includes the artist's contact information. I will pause the screen on that page to allow you to screen capture the information. First, we'll take a look at Dolls by Vivian Collette. Vivian Collette has been making dolls since she was a little girl. She became serious about doll making in the early 1970s. She began attending UFDC doll conferences where she met Eleanor Peace Bailey in Chicago. She joined the Guys and Gals Funtastic Doll Club during the 70s also, where most of the members were collectors. Roberta Bell, a sculptor and porcelain slip doll maker, was a member. Bell taught Vivian how to make porcelain slip dolls. She wanted the process of porcelain slip doll making to continue, according to Collette, but Vivian did not care for porcelain doll making because of the steps involved. Cloth dolls are her dolls of choice to make. Vivian has made all kinds of cloth dolls, from Black Raggedy Anns and Cabbage Patch type dolls to cloth art dolls, which is her focus. She describes these as dolls that are collected and immersed in a person's home decor. Her merits include being the first black artist to have a month-long showing at the Oak Park Village Hall in Oak Park, Illinois. She won a scholarship from New Mexico Fiber Arts to have one-on-one porcelain doll making instruction with master sculptor Jack Johnston in Salt Lake City, Utah. Under Jack Johnston's instruction, she made an award-winning Mary McLeod Bethune doll in clay. Throughout the years, to improve her skills, Vivian has taken many cloth doll making classes from noted cloth doll artists and instructors. My very best instruction for cloth doll making was from Terry Crespo and the late Mary Tressler, both at the Creation and Fiber Doll Conference. I hear their voices each time I make a cloth doll, she explained. Frantz Brent-Harris is a Jamaican-born Canadian doll artist and sculptor of exquisite handcrafted fashion dolls in what he describes as luxurious silicone, seamless silicone, and resin. He also enjoys collecting fashion dolls made by other artists and doll companies. 3 of his dolls are installed in DBG's virtual Black Doll Museum. The doll on the left is a 24-inch 1960s vinyl doll made in England by Roddy. I have one like it. Frantz made the dolls in the middle and on the far right. Made of resin with a steel base, the doll in the middle stands 3 feet tall. He named it She Wears It Well. The doll has an elaborate headdress of a red slave ship with red chains and gold beads that drape the hair and sides of the face. On the red bodice of the dress are images of human cargo and slave ships. The white skirt of the dress has a collage of enslaved people in chains and shackles, and of lynched humans. Printed vertical red chains separate the graphic images on the skirt. Red high-heel shoes, a combination of a red coral choker and an ornate gold choker encrusted with coral and glass, complete this doll's statement. On the right is a 12-inch resin doll made in an edition of 20 for the We Love Black Dolls Anew Facebook group as their 2018 club doll. Frantz named the doll Leontine Grace after Leontine Price and Grace Jones. Wyatt Hicks creates one-of-a-kind doll art using Super Sculpey and wire armatures. Doll heights range from 6 inches to 30 inches. His portrait dolls bear a close resemblance to the people they represent, as illustrated in the next video. The dolls in the first two slides are called Spirit-Filled Ladies. Their sculpts and the loose-fitting draping clothes seem to flow. Part of my personal collection are Esta, Vesta, and Rose, the Hallelujah Sisters, created after the artist attended an Alvin Ailey dance performance. The doll in the funky blue outfit represents an artistic icon from Detroit, whose name the artist did not share. His Nicky Giovanni was signed by the poet and later given to a friend. The final example of his work is bride and groom portrait dolls of a couple from Tennessee. Crystal McMurray of Birds and Lilies creates one-of-a-kind, full-size and miniature doll art and associated dioramas for some of the dolls. The dolls can be needle sculpted from polymer clay, or a form of paper mache. McMurray's first example is a 6-inch jointed miniature doll that holds a doll made from a mixture of paper shaped while wet with glue and batting. It is then covered with nylon for the skin color. Crystal uses various paints, pens, and powders for blushing and details. The hair is black mohair. She created the individual body parts over tiny wire to add strength and durability and to help the dolls remain posable. The second example of Crystal's work is Sojourner Truth, a 20.5-inch nylon sculpture with wired armature for posing. She handcrafted the clothes and made the black boots, which are not shown, from clay. The hair is black synthetic fiber and hand-painted with white stripes to mimic salt and pepper grays. The glasses and walking stick were also handcrafted by the artist. Ann Myatt is an ODACA member. She shared her artist's statement, the highlights of which include that she began making dolls as a young child from found objects such as rags, cardboard, and wood. She received dolls for Christmas that were shelved until the next Christmas doll became a replacement, which is when she was able to play with the previous year's doll. She works in a realistic style because she's fascinated with the human form. Her challenge is to capture feeling through expression. In her profession, she works with mothers and their babies. Many of her dolls depict this subject. Anne continued her artist's statement by writing, "My art training has been varied. I have studied oils, watercolor, sculpting, and photography. I use those mediums often in creating a doll. Each doll begins with a sculpted head in clay. This is covered with cloth. The body is cloth over an armature. I create wigs to fit the doll and design and make all clothing. I have so many ideas for dolls in my head that I know I will never feel bored or burned out with my passion. I learn from each doll. I know I will never make the perfect doll because that is the quest that keeps me going." Rachel McCullough Sherrod of Starkey's Daughter Cloth Doll Shop makes handmade felt and cloth dolls. Annually, she makes at least one historical black doll. Two of her historical dolls are featured in this presentation. Amanda 3 is one of 3 dolls that represents Amanda Gorman, the first person to be named National Youth Poet Laureate of the United States in 2017. Gorman is also the youngest White House inaugural poet who recited her poem, The Hill We Climb, during President Biden's inauguration. She is also the first poet ever to perform during the Super Bowl. Made of felt, Amanda 3 the doll is 20 inches tall with a hand-painted face and a handmade wig and clothing. The final verse of Gorman's inaugural poem is embroidered in yellow thread on the back of the doll's yellow coat. For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. The 2023 Black Historical Doll by Rachel pays tribute to Dorothy Counts, who at age 15 was one of the first black students to enroll in Harry Harding High School in North Carolina in 1957. Rachel's felt and cloth doll of Counts is 18 inches tall, has hand-painted facial features, a handmade Kanekalon wig, and a dress that replicates the dress worn by Dorothy in the picture in the next slide. Dorothy Counts is an American civil rights pioneer, and as indicated on the previous slide, she was one of the first black students admitted to the Harry Harding High School amid protest from fellow white students and adults who taunted her for her presence. After 4 days of harassment that threatened her safety, her parents withdrew her from the school, but the images of Dorothy being verbally assaulted by her white classmates were seen around the world. Source: Wikipedia. Karen Oyekanmi of Kissing Cousins is founder of American Black Beauty Dolls Association, ABBDA. She creates porcelain and cloth dolls. Felt is her cloth of choice. In 2021, I commissioned Karen to make a doll inspired by a photo of me at age 3.5. The doll is 20 inches, made of felt with painted facial features, and has black mohair pulled up into a tiny curly pigtail. The doll wears a replica of the dress that I wore in the picture with white sandals, and she has a birthday hat on her head, and she holds a wrapped birthday present. This is a close-up of the face of my mini-me. It's not an exact replica, but it's pretty close. Karen Oyekanmi's Ruby B is a 13.5-inch porcelain doll tribute to Ruby Bridges, who was the first black child to enroll in the William Frantz School in New Orleans, Louisiana in November 1960. The school had formerly been for whites only. I won the doll in a silent auction that was held by ABDA on November 10, 2018 at the annual Festival of Black Dolls Show and Sale in Oakland, California. Here are more pictures of Karen's Ruby B. The doll has inset brown side-glancing eyes and a circle mouth. Accessories include 4 miniature books and a faux leather book bag. The doll has a hang tag with a headshot of 6-year-old Ruby Bridges. The back of the hang tag is signed by the artist. Sharon Pittman of Sharon Pittman Art Dolls provided 2 examples of her one-of-a-kind hand-sculpted dolls. clay is her medium of choice. Pittman's Church Lady on the left is 1/4 scale or approximately 16 inches tall and made of Sculpey air-dry clay. Her Michael Jackson is 1/6 scale on the right or approximately 12 inches tall and made of oven-baked polymer clay. All of the clothing, including hat and shoes, was made by the artist who also constructed the wigs. Fiber artist and quilter Trish Williams refers to her soft sculptured dolls as darling divas and friends. They are another way for her to express herself and stem from years of fashion design and dressmaking. She calls them soft sculptures because they are created solely for collecting. Let's take a look at two of them. Williams' 28-inch Zara, which means radiant, is a soft sculpture of Kona cotton, dressed in satin and a mud cloth print with matching shoulder bag, boots, and belt. Zara has a gold tone necklace and turquoise and gold earrings. She also wears a fur stole collar from the Pam Tabor collection, and her locked hair is made of acrylic wool blend. Epatha, which means beauty, is another 28-inch soft sculpture by Trish Williams, created in Kona cotton. Alpaca yarn was used for the hair. Dressed in a woven cape wrap, denim wrap jacket, wrap skirt of suede cloth, she has a bronze faux crocodile shoulder bag and brown knee-high boots. According to Trish, Epatha loves texture. The doll artist featured in this presentation can be contacted using the information on this slide. Before ending the presentation, I will pause this slide for about 10 to 15 seconds to allow those of you who may want to contact the artist to make a screenshot of this slide. Here are the 10 seconds. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thanks for watching.